Hello everybody, this is CJ Wiley with more adventures on the road. There was a YouTube video that came out yesterday or the day before, I don't know, somebody sent it to me yesterday, with me and Efren playing this Satire match. We did play an exhibition in Dallas at Legends. It's a pool room, I guess it's west of Dallas, in a suburb, but it was his farewell tour, and we played this exhibition match, and it went well. I think it was 10-10 or 11-11, and then he ended up pulling it out, and that's fine. I've always talked highly of Efren, and I've always gave him plenty of respect, but he's human. I don't look at him like I told somebody, I said, man, these followers of his are like they're under a spell. They don't think anybody can play but him, and this video kind of portrayed me as being cocky and saying I was the gambling king or something, and I have never said that. I would never call myself a king. To me, that's blasphemy, but I understand it because the Filipinos do it, and I think it was a Filipino that probably put that together. It sounded like it, but I just thought it was funny, and I posted it on my Facebook. But man, the comments when they posted it was that like I was just another Minnesota Fats, and I really couldn't play, and, and I'm like, I mean, I literally laugh out loud when I see that. It's like, man, don't they ever like research anything before they start putting their comments up online? But people don't. They just say whatever comes to mind. And the only thing I have said is that I was named the best money player of the 20th century with Earl Strickland and Efren Reyes. They named all three of us the best money player in billiards of the 20th century, and that was in 1999 when the turn of the century, Billiard Digest, and that's just a fact. If somebody doesn't agree with it, get a hold of Billiard Digest. It's not my fault. I mean, I would never, sanely say that I'm the best money player or even the top three, but it was an honorary thing because everybody's got an opinion. There are people that think I'm one of the best money players that ever lived, but there's a lot of people that don't. So, and I just try to tell the facts as the best, best I can remember them. I tell these stories exactly like I remember them. If anybody questions any of them, I can tell them again. I'm real confident I can tell every single story I've ever told, and it might have some different variations in it, but I do all of these videos on the first take. There's only been, I think, one time that I ever stopped videoing, and it's because I missed a turn and I had to turn around, and it was just that, and it wasn't going real good. So I just figure it's more authentic to do it on the first take, and everything that I do, usually I'm driving, so that because I like to go into like a zone when I'm driving, and that's what I do. I go into a zone and I can remember stuff that's more difficult to remember if I'm not in that zone, because I can put myself back in that situation, and I remember most of them. It's funny, I was in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Weldon Rogers is there, and he's one of my old road partners that is one of the best of all time. I mean, there's no question. The people that know that type of stuff will all agree that he's one of the best of all time. And we traveled quite a bit, and I asked him, I said, is there any story that you can remember that really sticks out that you'd like me to tell? And he tells me about, we went over to play this big money man, and he was like a syndicate guy, like underworld character. Most of the people we targeted were underworld characters. My favorite ones to beat were drug dealers, and then bookmakers, and then pimps, prostitutes. Actually, I've never beat a prostitute playing pool. But I beat a few pimps, and I beat them that were wearing red suits and had hats on with feathers in their hat in Decatur, Illinois. No, that was Peoria, Illinois, across from the police station. I'm playing this pool room, and I'm playing this pimp that has like a bright red suit on and a red hat and a feather in his hat. And Black Danny was another one that used to go around and do that. But anyway, Weldon and I, of course, won a lot of money together, like mini zeros. So he told me we went over to play this syndicate guy, and we thought, we could win at least 100,000, maybe $250,000. So it was a pretty serious deal. So he tells me the story that we go into this bar, and he had a pool table above the bar, which I tell a story about playing in my Color of Money story. That was above a bar, but he wasn't with me. So I'm trying to remember this, and he said that I played the locals there and won like, $2,500 or something, and then I played this kid that played well, and beat him out of 2,000. So then, after I beat that kid, he wanted to play again, but at a different place on a different pool table. So he said we went over there and played for 5,000. Now, we hadn't been putting up the money the whole time because we're dealing with a guy that's got a lot of money, and he thought Weldon had a lot of money. So, but when I went over there, he said I started acting funny and I was playing bad, and I said I didn't want to play unless they put up the money. So Weldon had to tell the guy to put the money up because I acted like I didn't want to play at all. So anyway, the guy got offended and told one of his friends to go out to the car, and they brought in a suitcase full of money. Weldon said it must have been like $500,000. And the guy said, see what you could have won here? He says, but you can't win it now because this is win or lose. This is the only set you're playing. And then you're leaving, and you're not going to play pool in this area within 200-mile radius of here. So Weldon. So anyway, I went ahead and played the set, and I lost. I was telling Weldon, I said, man, I can't remember any of that. And Weldon's like, well, I mean, it damn sure happened. And I said, I'm not questioning that. I said, but did I act funny after the match? Did I do anything that kind of stood out to you? And Weldon says, well, we went home after that. It was a long drive. He said, and you slept the whole way. I said, Weldon, I got jarred. That's the only explanation. I said, I was acting funny. I was playing bad. And I slept the whole way home. They put something in my drink. And at first he started, to kind of argue about it, but he started thinking, I was like, how else can you explain it? I would never have done that. If we were in a spot we can win 100,000 or $250,000, I know how I am. I wouldn't say anything. I would just play and let him take care of everything. That's the easiest thing to do, and that's how I've had a lot of success through the years is letting the money manager, generally an older, wiser man, handle the money and take the bets, and I'd just do the playing. So anyway, I think that is the story that I got jarred, and that's an interesting thing because I've been talking about that lately with people. I don't know about these the younger generation, but this thing about getting drugs put in your drink, what they were putting back in the day was hyoscine scalpamine, I think's how you say it. It was used to make women dilate during labor, and it put them in a comatose state. And man, if you get jarred, you'll be losing and think you're winning. I mean, I talked to a guy, I've been talking about this with some different people, so it's on my radar, and I feel like I need to warn people out there that this does happen. You got to watch your drinks. Don't leave a drink unguarded if you're around gambling. It's not very smart at all. And it can lead to a dangerous situation because people can get really hurt. Generally, the times I got jarred, it messed me up for 3 days. So, it happens. And, but anyway, back to the Efren thing. Efren. Maybe we need to play another match. Maybe that's what everybody wants to see. I'll tell you what I will do. I will play Efren here in Sanford, North Carolina. That'd be fun. Play a $5,000 or $10,000 set next time he's over here. We'll see. Again, I'm not wolfing at anybody. I mean, gee whiz. I have people that sometimes say that me making these, videos and talking about gambling and stuff is like bad for pool, which I don't agree with that at all. Most of the questions anybody's ever asked me in my life about my pool background, it's always gambling. So that's a good thing. People love the gambling aspect of pool. What I do think hurts pool is doing hateful things, like hateful podcasts and hateful gossip. Johnny Archer got the brunt of that when he had a gambling match that, some things went wrong and he wasn't able to pay. But, man, in my world, you put up the money when you gamble. Try to go to a casino and play for nothing and lose, and stiff them. They're not going to allow it to happen. I wouldn't allow it to happen. Like, if I'm playing, it kind of depends who I'm playing, but if it gets up there to $5,000 or $10,000, I'm definitely putting up the money. Why wouldn't you? There's a guy named Carl from St. Louis that bets. He takes all bets. He'll bet $100,000 on a set. But ask him if he would play without putting up the money, and he's going to say no. As a matter of fact, he makes everybody put up the money, and he holds it. He's a smart guy. We should learn from that. Because, situations like that should not happen. Nobody should have a chance to stiff somebody. I learned that one time when I played a 7-ahead set, and I beat the guy, and then we played another set, and it took 12 hours to win that set. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I finally won it. My bones are aching, and my muscles are cramping up, and I'm just wore out, But that's what builds heart. You have to go through that. And when the guy didn't pay, yeah, I was upset, and I still remember it. But I remember it fondly because it taught me to put up the money. And the heart that I developed winning that 12-hour match, nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can take it away from you. If you muscle through something and are victorious and you don't get compensated, that does hurt. And, everyone involved that didn't get their money, hey, my heart goes out to you, but you're a gambler, and that when you gamble, you put up the money. That's just 101 basics. So Johnny Archer is another one, People have been wanting us to do a podcast together, and, that day might come here pretty quick because, I don't want the hateful stuff to be said. I think that's bullying. And the ones that were saying terrible stuff about Johnny, I think they're bullies. And, if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Because I will tell that to anybody's face. It doesn't matter to me. Johnny's a good guy. He was a player of the 90s. He fell on some hard times like all of us do, These haters, you think they haven't fallen on hard times? They're probably despicable. They're just projecting this stuff out to somebody that does have a good reputation. Johnny Archer does have a good reputation, and he's always treated me with kindness and respect. When we went to the Moscone Cup and I was the captain in 2012, Johnny won 6 matches out of 6. And he really helped me. And we stayed up late every night talking about the strategy we were going to do the next day. Johnny Archer and I are a strong combination. If we're going to win the Moscone Cup, you put Johnny Archer and I in charge, and we get to pick the players. There'd be a criteria, but man, you just, when I was the captain, I didn't get to pick any of the players. I didn't really have that much control at all. and they wanted to overhear what I was saying to the players. They had me mic'd up, and I told them, I said, man, I'm not going to do that. And they got aggravated at me. So I'd just go to the bathroom and turn it off and then forget to turn it back on. Yeah, they won't want me as captain again. But why? Because I wouldn't let them listen to what I was saying to my players? Man, I'm going to say some things that's going to help. I don't want I don't know who's listening on the other side. What, you're just going to tell the other captain what I'm saying? Not in my world. That's not how it works. That's not fair. And one thing about pool that I really appreciate is you got to play it fair. Can't cheat playing pool. I mean, you can, but it's it's pretty easy to catch. But for the most part, pocket billiards is a gentleman's game, and and of course there's bad apples. There's bad apples in golf and poker and basketball and football and boxing. But anyway, with that said, I'm still getting a kick out of all the comments about Efren and that I'm not in his category, because I remember what happened in several tournament matches, and for the money. But do I think I'm a better player than Efren Reyes? No, I don't. I've never claimed that and never will. He, pool was his life, and, I had a lot of other things going on, but just wasn't my calling to be the GOAT. Anyway, till next time, this is CJ, over and out.